This season, the title race is wide open. Sure, Arsenal have established a 4-point lead, but things change quickly. Look, not long ago, Liverpool were 5 points ahead after winning 5 from 5. And some people, like Pep Guardiola, well, he's going to be aware of that. So the main thing is, if you're a title contender, just hang in there, stay in touch, see what transpires. City, they're doing just that, really. They're 5th in the league. But we're doing it too, because we're second. What on earth is going on? Tom, this is weird, but Manchester City this season are flying under the radar. What? No one's talking about them.
It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? It definitely feels like because of what's happening at Liverpool, everyone's going with it's Arsenal to lose, and I appreciate why they're saying that. But I think Pep will secretly quite like it. Everyone's talking about Liverpool not doing well, talking about it's got to be Arsenal's time, and they can just slowly grind out some wins. Appreciate that. I'm sure we'll go into it. Their last Premier League game didn't go that way, but they're going to be there. I still think they're going to be there. They've still got the quality. They're the type of team that you can just see going on a mad run. So I think he'll secretly quite like it, mate, that they're going under the radar and no one's really talking about him for a title.
So Manchester City fans, this show is all about you. And it's fair to say, Tom, that this clash, when you look at the history from a Cherries perspective, it dictates it's one that we really shouldn't be wanting coming up, hey?
Yeah, well, we've never even gained a point there, have we?
No, once at Main Road, we gained a draw back in 1989. But apart from that, nothing.
Nothing at all. We've probably closed the gap in a few games in recent times, but because before that, when we first come up to the Premier League, it was literally pastings, wasn't it? Yeah. We were getting absolutely torn apart. We were going up there going to take a 3-0 defeat. So yeah, it's not good in their moments, but I think I said it on the other part, mate. We never got anything at Ellen Road before. I know it's a bit different, but we have this season. So strange things have happened. We're probably in the best place we've ever been going to the Etihad. They're definitely not in the best place they've ever been playing us. And there'll be a part of City fans, I'm sure, thinking, yeah, we should win the game, but this ain't going to be an easy one. Yeah. Whether that helps us or whether that means they'll be right on it, who knows? But yeah, more confident, I suppose, than I ever have been going up there.
So this one is live on Sky. It's part of Super Sunday, and it means it's live here at Q Sports Bar. So for the superest of Sundays, why not pop down? Look, it's 10 minutes from Folkestone train station. It's in the heart of Boscombe. I think it's West Ham v Newcastle at 2 p.m. But then the Ches are gracing the screen at 4:30. If you're a Cherries fan, get down here, because there's going to be a plenty in red and black who are getting behind the boys from down here. And this venue also is exclusive to Manchester City fans for the reverse fixture, which is in May. We've got them towards the end of the season, mate. Probably.
I feel like it is our last home game.
It could be. I mean, it could be one for the title. Who knows?
I mean, it could be a big one, yeah. It could be a big one. Can City stop us winning the league?
So this is a brand new venue dedicated to away supporters when Cherries are at home. But other than that, it's open to Ches during the week. It's only a 10-minute walk from Vitality. And there's loads of reasons to get here, Tom, aren't there?
Oh, yeah, mate. I mean, obviously, they do great drinks deals and stuff, hot food menu, American pool, which I think is just pool that's bigger than English pool.
This one, yeah?
But they are big, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they've also got English pool, snooker, the darts. I love the arrows. I'm more of an arrow man, as you know. And then they've got the kind of Oktoberfest style drinking area, which is really cool. That's normally where I am. And yeah, and obviously live sport on the TV, TNT and Sky. So yeah, you can get everything here, really, mate. I don't know what more you want.
So welcome to the opposition. This is the second part of our double-headed preview. City fans, if you want to watch the first part, you can do so. And look, there is plenty of content on this game still to come. So therefore, you might want to do a couple of things.
Yeah, click the bell and then you'll see when them videos are out. Click the like button because you like us so much, and then click subscribe because we really do appreciate that. And remember, we always beat Man U at Old Trafford.
So Pep Guardiola, this is his 9th season managing Manchester City. Of course, in this decade, he's won the Premier League title with them 4 times, 4 seasons in a row, of course, from 2020 through to 2024. But last season, of course, they finished 3rd. And what's mad is 3rd and underwhelming. How can you have that in the same sentence, really? Because that's still a pretty good season. But in Manchester City's levels, it was poor last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it shows how much the bar's been raised there. Obviously, they've won the Champions League that time. They've won everything. And yeah, the bar's so high now that even in my head, I'm going, City were awful last season. They come 3rd. I mean, they weren't.
But we were part of the reason why they had a bit of a dip. I mean, they had a big, long dip, and we were right at the start of it, right?
We were. I think they lost the League Cup game just before that against Tottenham. But
it was all about us, though, Tom.
Yeah, we were the first team to kind of do that in the Premier League, like beat them, and then they didn't win win for ages.
Our first ever win at home. Well, our first ever win.
First ever win against Man City in the Premier League, yeah, and it was a game where really they were quite fortunate to keep it at 2-1. We were very, very good on the day. I think Semenyo obviously scored, Evan Nilsson got a goal, and I think Vardy got one near the end.
A really good header.
Yeah. And
that was when Phil Foden had a shot wide, which was just only wide.
And you look back then, we were brilliant on the day, but I'd say we're in a stronger place right now. Travers was in goal, for example, in that game.
Was he?
Yeah, Travers was in goal, and we were brilliant that day. It was just everything seemed to go our way. Got a bit nervy at the end, as it always does. But we were brilliant, deservedly won the game. And then it started a little bit of a blip for City. We couldn't believe that we were one of the reasons for that.
Pep Guardiola last season looked tired. He looked very forlorn, and still this 115 charges thing hanging over their heads. I mean, no one's even talking about it anymore, which is really, really odd, I've got to say. But he looks a little bit more rejuvenated this season. We'll talk about the transfer business they did in the summer, but what we will do is take a look at this month's results as well. One thing we can say is that Manchester City have lost 3 Premier League games already this season. It's the first time they've lost as many as 3 of their opening 9 games in a campaign since 2013-14 season, which ironically was a season where they went on to win their second Premier League title. So, yin and yang and all that. But yeah, it's they've not been flying, have they? But they've just been fairly consistent. But there are a few results that are going to antagonise them a little bit, especially one pretty recently. Yeah, exactly, mate. I think, going back to the start of October, they drew at Monaco, which wasn't ideal. But in the way the format is now in the Champions League, that's fine. Just draw your away games. Went to Brentford and won, which I think people are starting to find out. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Brentford looking all right. Beat Everton, done that pretty comfortably when they were on a decent run as well. Won at Villarreal, really important. You're thinking, okay, they're starting to surge a little bit. And then I was surprised that Villa, who seemed to have turned the corners, they probably didn't play them at the right time, managed to nick a win against them and kept the clean sheet. That did surprise me. And then, they probably... It's a weird one, the Swansea game. They went behind in the cup, which surprised me. And you just always thought they'd win. They had all the ball, all the chances. But it took them a while. It did take them a while, but they done it without their main man up top as well. They got a few players back that have had some time out as well. One of them being Nathan Ake, who we absolutely adore here. They tried a few bits out. Mamouche was back, etc. Aït-Nouri as well. And they still got the job done, mate. And they didn't have to go kind of to penalties or have to exert themselves too much because they were just with the ball most of the game. I mean, I don't want you to give too much away because City fans, just if it's spoiler, but we will be trying to predict your team. We've done the Bournemouth one already, as you may have seen on our previous video. But when we're looking at the team that took to the pitch against Swansea at the Swancom, how many of these starters do you think might be in contention to start on Sunday, do you reckon? I think a couple at least, maybe a few more than that potentially could be in the conversation, but the majority won't have started in that game, I don't think. Particularly if you look at the back line, a lot of players that are coming through, they've rested some big hitters there. But there was a few in there that I still think could play a part, and there was a few in there that performed so well that might even give them the nod. But it'd be interesting to see because they've got so many options. They've rested so many players and they've still got a blooming good squad. So we'll take a look at Manchester City's transfer business, the ins. Tom, talk me through it, because there are a few players that are certainly catching my eye here. What, you talking about Marcus Bettinelli? Yeah. They've got... when they bought Trafford in, I was surprised. Because he's young and English. Thought, okay, he's a Pep-style keeper. But then obviously Donnarumma come through the door. So Donnarumma's next level. I think that was an unbelievable signing. I like Aït-Nouri. I think everyone was talking about in the summer, the 2 left-backs that were definitely going to leave clubs were Kirkes and Aït-Nouri. You waxed lyrical about him on previous shows, for sure. He was Wolves' best player with Cunha, and they both left, and Aït-Nouri, unbelievable left-back. Unfortunately, got a bad injury quite early on, but as we saw, he come back against Swansea, so I think he'll slowly start getting back in. I think he's a very good player. Shirky's showing bits, isn't he? Coming in that team, but he was probably the best player against Swansea. And Reinders is one that has really impressed me. I didn't know an awful lot about him. Obviously, he's come from AC Milan, he's bound to be good, but he's slotted right in there, particularly when you think they lost De Bruyne. Rodri's been out injured. I think Reinders come in and been really good. Been impressed with him. But obviously they lost a few. I mean, they lost Ederson, but they've managed to upgrade on Ederson. I think it's quite impressive. Akanji obviously went out on loan, which was a little bit of a surprise. We were briefly linked with him, which was we were. Strange. I would have loved that. And obviously we all know De Bruyne left, and obviously the main one, Scotty Carson. Sad to see him go, but great career for him. He was there for ages, wasn't he? He was, just picking up ways, fair play to him. But getting that old English quota, which now is going to be Bettinelli. Yeah. Right then, this is where Bournemouth fans might want to just not tune in anymore. Since the Cherries have been in the Premier League, in the first 14 games against Manchester City, we hadn't picked up so much as a point. Last season, of course, our first ever win against Manchester City, the 2-1 there. But if you go back through the years, I mean, there are a couple of draws back in the, late 80s and also late 90s. But I remember doing the thumbnail for the win against them, and I did it in a style of W. I may have even been a few L's short there, but it's fair to say they've had the rub of the green. I was also just wondering, Tom, and I sort of started this conversation on the last one, whether surely we've never played them before. I mean, I don't know, back in the old days, where we've been above them in the table.
No, I'd be very surprised.
I mean, maybe at the start of the season, alphabetically, but I don't even think we've ever played the first game of the season either.
Well, I'm only looking at one, being the 4-0 defeat at their place was the 13th of August. So the 13th of August, could that potentially have we been alphabetically above them?
Was that
maybe?
I think that was a really hot day as well.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. I'd be very surprised. But yeah, you see a little bit of a turn since Irola's come in. I think Irola's first game against him was a 6-1 defeat. But their place. That was when Jay Nantley was in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And then since then, it's like he's gone, okay. And then we've been all right since then. It's been pretty tight, as you say, got our first win, and there's only been a goal or two in it because we really struggled in the early days when we come to the Premier League, mate. But it's not a massive surprise, them stats. Let's be real.
So in all our away league games against Manchester City, I mean, we haven't won. We've just drawn the one, and that was ages ago at Main Road in all competitions. But with a 1-1, drawn 2, lost 21. So look, those are some bad stats, admittedly, but let's look at some good ones, shall we? And that is the league table right now. I mean, it's us and it's Arsenal, isn't it, pretty much? I mean, look at those form guides there. We're doing pretty well. Manchester City with a red blob next to their name. But, mate, this is the archetypal Champions League clash, mate.
It is a little bit. And we'll obviously only see when it comes to it, but is that little L at the end, obviously we spoke about it against Villa, is that a really good thing for us, or is it, okay, they're going to react? You never know, do you, with the big boys? Very rare that, they get a couple of back-to-back league defeats. So, be a difficult one. But yeah, I honestly can't believe, one, that we're second, obviously. But the fact that we've scored more goals than Man City, they've got that goal difference, but the fact that we've scored more than them is incredible. But it's unbelievable to see us there, and hopefully we can stay there for a little bit longer, mate. Yeah, so Bournemouth are on the longest unbeaten run of any current Premier League side, going without defeat in 8 games since their opening day loss, as we know, at Liverpool. The 18 points from 9 games, of course we know, it's the best start that we've ever had to a top-flight campaign. Man City team news then. Okay, 2 players are showing on premierinjuries.com. First one, Rodri, mate. Do we know what's happening? Because I think you said this like a few weeks ago, right? Like, because it was a few weeks ago when he went out injured, and you looked at his return date. It was like, oh god, it would have to be Bournemouth, wouldn't it? But I don't think he's going to quite be ready. I think.
Okay, good.
Looking at it, I was thinking if he's ever going to stand a chance, they would have given him some minutes against Swansea. They didn't. I think there might be a possibility of him being on the bench, which I believe he done that in the last game at their place, because they will give him a stand ovation when he come on.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, I very much doubt we'll see Rodri, which is good for us. And even if we do see him, he's not going to be 100%. It says that Haaland's got a knock. I don't see it. I think it was probably one to just make sure. They weren't going to risk him against Swansea. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. But they have obviously got Marmoush back anyway, who's got a decent little record in a short window against us. So yeah, they're going to be pretty difficult to do anything against, mate. But as we said on our preview, we're in a good place as well.
Haaland's all right, isn't he? He's an all right player.
It's he's obviously the top goal scorer in the league. Not bad that he scored 24 and 15. Not too bad. But the only one that's kind of chomping down at him is Antoine Semenyo, who's our player. And the only other striker that seems to be on any sort of form like Haaland is Eli Krupi. So we've got to look at that as a positive. But yeah, he's a joke. He's just inevitable. That's what I think. It's just inevitable. Every single time I see, if I'm at a Bournemouth game and I have a look at the scores and it flashes up City goal, you don't even have to look.
No.
The only thing that will concern them a little bit, I don't know if it will concern them because he is that good, but goals from elsewhere seem to be drying up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Their second top goal scorers in the league?
No, go on.
It's Esteve, who plays for Burnley, scored 2 own goals against them.
Right.
No one else has scored more than 2 in the league.
But hasn't Nunez contributed to a few?
Yeah, they got a couple in there, but not in the Premier League. They're just it's just all Haaland, really.
I know that he's scoring, but Jeremy Doku scares the crap out of me.
I know what you mean.
And Marmoush after that worldy.
Yeah, against us. Yeah.
Can't stand him.
Yeah, and obviously who's one that's got an unbelievable record. I don't know if City fans know this, but against Bournemouth, Phil Foden's got a hell of a record. And he's starting to turn it on a little bit, starting to play quite well. So, yeah, I mean, they've got good players all over the pitch, mate. But yeah, there's a few players that will always scare you, I think. And Doku's one that I think he flatters to deceive a little bit, but you see him running at your fullback and you go, ooh, you do get a little bit worried. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we cope with him, which side he's on, etc., etc.
Did you allude to the fact that Araujo started at right back last time, and usually Doku's off the left, isn't he?
He is.
So Jimenez would be.
Yeah, in that game it was Marmoush was playing on that side.
Oh, was he?
If you remember, yeah, and because he scored that worldie and he was causing us all sort of problems.
Did Doku even come on the last game?
I can't remember.
I'm getting confused with my Man City bashing.
Yeah, but the one at the end of last season, Marmoush off that left scored that worldie because they were looking at each other because Araujo was supposed to be following him.
Yeah,
and he left him, and then Araujo ended up coming off quite early. It might have even been half time.
Yes, it was half time.
But yeah, he caused some problems. I think the fortunate thing in terms of Marmoush is that he's only just come back. So I'd be surprised if he starts again after starting against Swansea. But yeah, they've got options all over the pitch, mate.
All right, let's predict the Manchester City team then. Right then, Tom, we've got here in a 4-2-3-1 pretty much.
Yeah.
What are you going for then?
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna obviously put Donnarumma back in goal. I'm actually gonna change their whole back four already from the week because I think they rotated there quite a bit. I think Nunes will come back in at right back, Stones and Diaz partner each other centre half, and Guardiola come back in at left back. As I say, Aït-Nour's only just come back. It's pretty solid defence, and Guardiola actually scored at our place, didn't he? So he's a bit of an aerial threat. Reiner's going to come back in for sure, I think. And Silva, I'm going to stick with playing centrally. Going to move Foden out to a wide position because I just think Shirky done enough that I think they'll chuck him in. So Bob's played recently. I think Shirky's going to come in. I think Doku will go. As I say, that's so flexible, that three. I started just put Doku off the right and Foden off the left. That could easily change. Shirky can go off sides as well. Silva even can. So that I think Reiner will stay in the centre and then Fort will all float. And then obviously the main man, Haaland, will spearhead them. Absolutely sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, that one of the number 10 never shirks his responsibility, does he?
Very good.
Right, Tom, I'll give you a chance to make a few predictions very shortly.
Yes.
But if he plays, if he plays, you said he will. This will be Phil Foden's 200th Premier League appearance. He would be the 15th player to reach this milestone for Manchester City, but also the youngest to do so, which is perhaps not a surprise. Erling Haaland, as we know, he failed to score for just the second time in the Premier League this season in Man City's 1-0 loss at Aston Villa last time out. Meanwhile, of all the 23 sides that the Norwegian has faced in the competition, only against Newcastle does he have a worse minutes per goal average than he does against Bournemouth, netting just once in 439 minutes against the Cherries. That's because of the likes of Chris Mepham keeping him out over those years.
Jack Stevens pocketing him.
Easy.
Yeah, we have actually. It's a weird one because obviously, yeah, we all know this could go back to bite me, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did because he's that good. But we have coped quite well with him.
Yeah.
I always think that maybe that's the reason Foden's so good against us.
Yeah.
We focus so much on him that them sort of players can pop up. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, really.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to the game up at the weekend at the Etihad, make sure you join in with a round of applause on the 35th minute in memory of Guy Bradshaw. He's a lifelong City fan who lost his life following his team in Europe last week. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the message, the tweet from Eddie Stewart that tells you all about it. Make sure you do that. Right then, let's go on to match predictions. Firstly, if you're watching on YouTube, I want you to type it in right now. Tom, I'm going to come to you then. What are you thinking?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one, mate. I think
I've definitely got a head and a heart one for this.
Oh, absolutely, mate. I think it's really difficult, but we're in a really good place.
Weirdly, the head and the heart one's only like a goal apart.
Okay, whereas
which
previously
shows you how close we
are.
No,
definitely. I think even City fans who would be right to in the past say 5-0 against Bournemouth, they would be right to. You look at we spoke about the head-to-head, but I think even then we'll go any bloody win will do. Yeah. But we're still in a place as good as we are. It'd be unbelievable if we get a point up there. But we said that against Palace, maybe not to this, obviously not to the same calibre, but we managed to go and get it. I think the last game against Forest, we obviously said, it's going to be tricky with Dyche. I think we'll nick it. We obviously did. So, yeah, we are in a good place, mate. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, so my head is saying Manchester City are going to win 2-1. My heart is saying that we're going to get a draw.
Okay, go with your heart, mate.
What should you always follow?
Always follow your heart.
1-1.
1-0, okay. And I made you do that because I'm going to go 2-1 City.
Oh.
I do. I've been. There's definitely a little bit of belief there, but
home advantage.
Yeah, if we're at home, I'd maybe say we can nick something.
A team that wants to react after the Villa loss.
Yeah, I just
Haaland.
I think that the problem with City sometimes when we play them, I remember that FA Cup game, which was obviously at our place, but we were really good in the first half, really energetic. They couldn't really cope at times. And I thought, and we were 1-0 up. And you think, then they nick a goal back, our legs start to tire, and they're the type of team that can just knock it around you and just make it wear you out. My worry is with that intensity that we play at early on, we could tire. And Donnarumma in goal, I think we're going to have to be very, very clinical.
But
and also at the
is
other
so
end.
much better.
It is. No, it is. But I just think the amount of times we've done really well, and you think, okay, they had a few chances, Petrov makes good saves, but we managed to see it through. Haaland gets a chance, Haaland scores. And yeah, I just think they'll have an edge, mate. But I think we'll put in a show. I think we'll make it tight. I think it'll be right on a knife edge. And yeah, I wouldn't be absolutely shocked if we got something there, which is the first time I've ever said that.
We could get a win, we could win.
Of course we could. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with them just to have a bit of an edge, try and stay a little bit humble, keep your feet on the ground a little bit, and see how we go. But yeah, we're in a good place. So it wouldn't be. What's weird is it wouldn't be the biggest shock.
Yeah.
That we could potentially go to the Etihad and win, and it might not be the biggest shock of the weekend. That's how much we've progressed. Okay. So yeah, see what happens. You never know. You never know.
Look, Cherries fans, safe travels if you are going up there. Cannot wait to see you either in the pub or at the ground. I think we're doing it in a day, so we're going to be up in the morning back because we've got to record the second look, right? So we're looking forward to it. Up the Cherries. Fingers crossed we can get something.
Come on. I think you actually made me think maybe we can.
I think we'll do.
Do you actually think we can?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I must get that on.